Look up at the night sky. On a clear evening, you might spot the moon, a silent gray sentinel. But did you know that nestled in its dust, bleached white by decades of unfiltered sunlight, stand 6 American flags? They are a testament not just to a technological achievement, but to a symbol that has journeyed through revolution, civil war, and the vast emptiness of space. This is the story of that symbol. A story woven into the very fabric of a nation, of its triumphs, its tragedies, and its enduring hope. This is the story of the Stars and Stripes. Our journey begins not with a grand design, but in the chaotic crucible of revolution. The year is 1775. The American colonies are a patchwork of defiance against British rule. But they lacked a unifying banner. Instead, a dizzying array of flags flew over forts and ships. The pine tree flag was popular in New England, defiantly proclaiming an appeal to heaven. In the South, the Gadsden flag with its coiled rattlesnake issued a stark warning, "Don't tread on me." These were symbols of regional pride and raw defiance, but the fledgling Continental Army needed a single standard to rally behind. In late 1775, the Grand Union flag, also known as the Continental Colors, made its debut. It was a strange hybrid. It featured the familiar 13 red and white stripes, representing the United Colonies. But in the canton, the upper left corner, sat the British Union Jack. Why? It was a symbol of a complex reality. Most colonists at this point weren't seeking full independence. They were fighting for their rights as Englishmen. The flag was a visual plea. We are loyal subjects of the Crown, but we will not surrender our liberties. It flew over the Continental Army's headquarters on Prospect Hill on New Year's Day, 1776, a bold yet contradictory statement against the Boston skyline. But as the revolutionary spirit intensified, the desire for a complete break with Britain grew. The Union Jack became a symbol of tyranny, not heritage. On June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress passed a brief, almost deceptively simple resolution. Resolved, that the flag of the 13 United States be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. A new constellation. What a poetic, hopeful phrase. A new nation was being born, taking its place among the powers of the world. But who actually designed this new flag? The popular story, the one we all learned in school, credits a Philadelphia seamstress named Betsy Ross. The legend goes that George Washington himself, along with a secret committee, visited her upholstery shop in 1776 with a rough sketch. Ross, a practical and skilled artisan, supposedly made a key suggestion: changing the 6-pointed stars to easier-to-cut 5-pointed stars. It's a wonderful, patriotic tale of a humble craftswoman helping birth a national icon. The only problem? There is virtually no contemporary evidence to support it. The story didn't surface until nearly a century later, told by her grandson. While Ross was indeed a flag maker in Philadelphia, her direct role in designing the first Stars and Stripes remains a beloved piece of folklore, not historical fact. A more likely, though less romantic candidate is Francis Hopkinson. Hopkinson was a delegate from New Jersey, a signer of the Declaration of Independence, and a talented artist who designed seals for various government departments. In 1780, he sent a letter to the Board of Admiralty, taking credit for designing the flag. He even sent a bill for his work, not in cash, but asking for a quarter cask of the public wine. His claim was ultimately denied because the board argued he was not the only person who had contributed to the design. But his involvement is far better documented than the Betsy Ross legend. The truth is, the flag was likely the product of a committee, a collaborative effort, with Hopkinson playing a key, if not sole role. The early design had one charming quirk. The Flag Act didn't specify the arrangement of the stars. So for decades you saw a delightful variety of star patterns. The Betsy Ross design with the stars in a circle was just one of many. Some flags had stars in rows, others in arcs, or even arranged to form a larger star. This lack of standardization reflected the nation itself, a union of distinct states, each with its own identity, bound together in a common yet evolving pattern. As the nation grew, so did its flag. In 1795, with the admission of Vermont and Kentucky, Congress updated the flag to 15 stars and 15 stripes. This is the very flag that flew over Fort McHenry in Baltimore during a relentless British bombardment in the War of 1812. A young lawyer named Francis Scott Key, held on a British ship, watched through the night as rockets and bombs lit up the sky. He strained to see if the fort had surrendered. When dawn broke on September 14, 1814, and he saw the massive 15-star, 15-stripe banner still waving defiantly, he was so moved that he penned a poem. He called it The Defense of Fort McHenry. We know it today as the Star-Spangled Banner. The practice of adding a stripe for every new state quickly became impractical. Imagine a flag with 50 stripes. It would look more like a beach towel. In 1818, Congress passed a new flag act, reverting to the original 13 stripes to honor the founding colonies. From then on, only a star would be added for each new state. This wise decision preserved the flag's visual harmony and established the design we know today. The new star would officially be added on the 4th of July following the state's admission to the Union. This created a tradition, a yearly renewal of the national symbol. The flag became a powerful symbol during the nation's darkest hour, the Civil War. For the Union, it was the sacred emblem of national unity, the very thing they were fighting to preserve. Abraham Lincoln refused to remove the stars representing the seceded states, insisting they were still part of the Union, albeit in a state of rebellion. Soldiers marched into battle with the cry, "Rally round the flag, boys." It was carried into the bloody fields of Gettysburg and Antietam, often by color bearers who were prime targets. Losing the colors was a deep dishonor. Capturing the enemies was a great victory. The flag was more than cloth. It was the physical embodiment of the cause. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a wave of patriotism and immigration led to the cult of the flag. Organizations like the American Flag Association promoted its veneration. The Pledge of Allegiance was written in 1892. A formal flag code was established, dictating proper etiquette, how to display it, how to fold it into its iconic triangle, and the solemn respect it deserved. It was during this period that the flag truly cemented its place not just as a government symbol, but as a personal, civic, and almost religious icon for everyday Americans. The 20th century saw the flag travel to the farthest corners of the earth and beyond. It was there on the battlefields of Europe in 2 world wars, a symbol of liberation for millions. One of the most enduring images of World War II is the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima, a moment of hard-won victory captured in a Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph. It became a symbol of American resolve and sacrifice, but the flag also became a flashpoint for protest. During the Vietnam War, some protesters burned the flag as a powerful, visceral act of dissent against government policy. Others wore it on their clothing, an act seen by many as deeply disrespectful. These acts sparked a fierce debate that continues to this day. What is the proper way to treat the flag? Is it a sacred object, or is it a symbol whose meaning can be challenged and reinterpreted? The Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that flag burning, as symbolic speech, is protected by the First Amendment, highlighting the tension between veneration for the symbol and the freedom of expression it is meant to represent. Then came July 20th, 1969. As Neil Armstrong took his first steps on the moon, one of the earliest tasks he and Buzz Aldrin performed was planting the American flag in the lunar soil. It was a moment watched by the entire world. In that silent, airless landscape, the flag wasn't just a national symbol. It represented the pinnacle of human ingenuity, a marker of exploration, and the audacity of a dream fulfilled. A new constellation had indeed been born, and now its banner was planted on another world. Today, the 50-star flag has been the official banner for over 60 years, the longest-running version in American history. It drapes the caskets of fallen soldiers, flies over schools and government buildings, and is waved at parades and sporting events. It has been to the highest mountains and the deepest oceans. It has been a symbol of unity in the face of tragedy, as seen in the days after 9/11, when flags appeared on every street corner. It has also been at the center of contentious debates about national identity and justice. The story of the American flag is a reflection of the American story itself. It's a story of unity and division, of high ideals and painful compromises. The simple design of red, white, and blue holds within its threads the hopes of revolutionaries, the blood of soldiers, the pride of pioneers, and the ongoing debate about what it truly means to be an American. It is not a static relic. It is a living symbol, its meaning continuously woven and rewoven by each generation. And as long as the Republic stands, the Stars and Stripes will continue to tell its story. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the American flag. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you next time.